like episode 5, and you know who the worst pasta maker was?
No, what's gonna happen, guys, is Cody's gonna drive home from this and be like, when he asked me what I wanted, I should have said spaghetti and meatballs. All right, welcome back to episode 2 of Need to Know. Today, I'm a little bit more nervous for today's episode. If you watched episode 1, I was nervous because it was the first episode. For today's episode, I'm nervous, 1, to have another conversation, but 2, I'm not really sure what I'm making because today's dish is inspired by today's guest, which is Cody Sabol, who is a live performance speed painter who I think, in my opinion, is one of the most talented people I know. And like, I can truly say that. I've seen his work live, and I still, to this day, can't comprehend how he does it. And over the past few years, we've become really good friends, so I'm excited to have him on. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna cry. Thanks,
oh, man, don't cry.
Wow.
We don't have any tissues.
I appreciate that.
Of course, man. Like I said, I think every time because, you know, he does events at, you know, all the different sporting arenas and everything and sporting events, and whenever I see him just like in the wild live, it's crazy.
Oh, thanks, man.
I don't understand it.
Thanks. I love to do it. Like, I have like a lot of fun performing because I just like, you know, depending on the audience or where you are, the weight of the gig that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I can cancel that out and just turn around, just like, it's just me and the canvas.
I just think, and we're going to get into, I think, more like how you got into art and everything, but I just think it's crazy. I remember I was in Vegas during Super Bowl week for an event, you were in Vegas, and we happened to link up and was it Hard Rock?
The Hard Rock, yeah.
And that's probably like the dozen or 12th or 13th time I've seen you paint live.
Yeah.
And I remember just sitting there watching like, how is this going to come together so fast? And it does, and I don't get it.
Well, that was funny because I was just kind of sitting there. I think it was like a pop-up event for the Hard Rock because I was there for another corporate gig.
Yeah.
And we called around and see if we could get stage time anywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like kind of waiting to go on and paint. And then all I hear is your voice out of the corner. You like came in with such energy. I was like, let's go.
Man, it was amazing.
Yeah, so I appreciate the
love
on that one.
Of course. And like I said, we're going to get into how you got into art and everything, but I want to tell you first what I'm making you. So I asked you if you have any allergies, food restrictions, or anything you don't like, and you said no. So this is on you. Like this, you could have said something.
I don't have allergies.
Well, not yet. So I think my inspiration today to make you a dish was really just to think about what you do, which is art. And when I think about art, I think about color. So the idea for this dish is a dish I've never made before. It's not like spaghetti and meatballs. But the idea for this dish is to be very colorful, be very artfully plated. Hopefully it'll be delicious too. But that's why I'm nervous, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But we're going to get into it. So first we're going to make a batch of pasta dough, which you've seen me make before. If you guys haven't seen, I'm going to link it down below. What was it? When we did a collab, was that 3 or 4 years ago?
I think it was 21.
Yeah, so me and Cody did a collab that we'll link below it was me making a batch of pasta while he was simultaneously painting a portrait of me behind him with his hand. And I'm pretty sure he finished before I was even done. And then do you remember when I broke my table?
You broke the table and flour went everywhere.
I felt so bad because I always joke about, like, whenever I go to different events and stuff, I'm always using like a plastic folding table.
Yeah.
And I always joke to like the different social media teams, like, man, this is going to be the time this is going to collapse. And it never did until then. And it was everywhere.
Well, at least it was in my studio and not on the pitcher's mound of PNC Park or something like that.
That's a great point.
They probably would have banned you.
I mean, I remember I was terrified. We did a collab at Pinehurst Golf Resort last year.
Yeah.
And on course number 2, which is like the iconic, that's where the US Open was this year, I was already like, this doesn't feel right to be making pasta out here on the course. And then I was like, what if I spill eggs everywhere? Like, that would have been terrible.
So what if there's like wind?
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to just when I was just in Chicago for the White Sox collab, we were making the batch, and it was, I mean, it's Chicago. It's very windy. And bro, the flour was just blowing everywhere. But it's like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So while I bring this dough together, I'm curious. You're from Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. Not far from where we are in this wonderful kitchen.
What got you into art and painting? Like, was that something that you always, like, were you doing it as a kid?
Yeah, definitely. When people ask me, like, when did you start painting, like, when did you start finger painting, I always say, like, when everybody else starts, you know? Like 2 years old, I guess. I was just always, like, interested in it. Like, I mean, it wasn't something I really even thought about. Like,
sure.
We just had a bunch of coloring books. My grandparents, which is where I spent the majority of my time, like, growing up, because both my parents worked, like, they just had Spider-Man coloring books. And I was just in those things.
Like, do you remember, though, was there a moment as a child? Because for me, like, when I was maybe in second grade, I knew that I wanted to be a chef.
Yeah.
Did you have that? Like,
well, it's not that I wanted to be an artist. It's that I just felt like I was, like, understanding.
You knew you were creative?
Well, like, so I would watch classmates, like, draw, like, hands, and they would look like popcorn, you know, like, they would just do this.
That
like,
was me.
Yeah.
He's making fun of me right now.
No, everybody. And I just, like, I remember thinking in my brain, like, well, I don't think that's how you're supposed to, like, do that. And then trying to, like, replicate what it really looked like, or try to get it as close to the reference. I think I was, like, maybe, like, 6 when I came to that realization.
Which is still very young.
Super young. Like, my oldest is 4 right now.
Yeah.
And, like,
I mean, I have a son, he's 3.
Yeah.
And all he wants to do is do donuts in his, you know, Power Wheels in the backyard. Like,
that's good. I mean,
which is great.
That's cooler than what we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe he's gonna be one of those monster truck drivers growing up.
Man, I'm sure he would love it. So did you, like, as you were growing up, we don't have to go too deep into it, but did that ever, like, sway away from that, or were you always kind of coming back to it?
No, I was drawing all the time. I was drawing every day. It was just pencils. I wasn't really even painting that much. And I just have these memories of, like, drawing something that I liked, whether it was Spider-Man this, or a Penguins hockey player, or, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! I was, like, big into Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day, and I would draw something, and I would, like, show my grandparents, and my grandfather would just be like, you keep drawing, you keep painting.
Right.
You know? And he was the one that, he got me all the pencils, all the markers, and the paper and stuff, and, you know, I just remember, like, constantly being encouraged, like, that this is good. Like,
right.
So just having, like, and not just my grandparents, but my parents and, like, my aunts and uncles were always just like, I think you're, like, I think you're, like, a little advanced at this.
They were able to recognize that this isn't just a kid
and I think
around.
Like encouragement is so incredibly valuable, because like, I think once you stop being, like, encouraged, you're kind of just like, I don't know, should I just, like, get a normal job, I don't know. It was just something that was put into me as a kid. I almost felt like it was something to live up to too. Right.
So you have your childhood, high school, all that stuff. What was it after high school?
In high school, I kind of gave it up I'd say gave it up, but I just remember, like, thinking that it's been, like, almost a year since I've, like, done anything, because I was a freshman in college, and I was playing college football, so I had no time to, like, really do anything other than get 5 hours of sleep.
Right.
So I just, like, kind of stopped, and I remember the first thing I did was, like, during our study hall, I did this drawing of Russell Wilson in, like, my class.
Shout out to Russ. He's coming on the pod. He's coming on the podcast very soon.
I don't want to say I had a hand in him coming to Pittsburgh, but
you did.
They know. They know a thing or two.
Yeah.
But, and I just remember my classmates being like, this is good. Yeah. Like, I didn't know you could do this. And that's a high I just kept chasing.
Sure. So
just how good are you, you know?
When did you, like, do you remember the moment that you realized this is what I'm going to do for a living?
Yes. Like, I just remember, so in like 2017, still like fairly new into this, and in 2017, I'm like 22 I'm 21 turning 22, and starting to get like a gig here and there. I'm starting to do stuff on social media with my art, and then I did this painting of Phil Kessel that a bunch of people saw, and a friend of Phil Kessel saw it on Instagram, and they're like, it was actually a girl I went to high school with, and they're like, we know Phil, like, can I give this to them?
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't know Phil, like, why would you know Phil?
Sure.
We grew up like in adjacent neighborhoods, like, kind of seemed like a stretch, but I was like, I'm not gonna do anything with this painting. And then 2 months later, I just get like this like picture sent to me, and it's Phil and the Stanley Cup and like the painting I did.
No way.
Yeah, and it went to like NHL Network, NHL.com.
And you had no idea that was happening?
No, I called it like the Pittsburgh Mona Lisa, because I don't know if you remember this like iconic shot of Phil Kessel in the 2014 Sochi Olympics where he just like deadpan like there's nothing behind his eyes, but he just like faintly smiled. It's a very iconic. Like,
we're gonna put up the picture right here. You're gonna see it right here.
Picture's up, and I called it the Pittsburgh Mona Lisa, and people loved it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then NHL Network invited me to come out to do some speed paintings, and that was like the first time like I was like, oh man, I could like do this.
Wow.
Like people like this.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That was
cool.
what, 2017?
Summer of 17. Yeah. So I probably just turned 22.
That's crazy. Okay. Quick pause from the art and the background of Cody Sabol to get into. I want to hear about food for you.
Yeah.
1, do you cook? And 2, what do you like to eat?
I don't cook nearly as much as I should. So like we're currently moving houses right now, so everything is like packed away. I have limited choices on what to cook because we have like one pan and one pot, no grill anymore. Like, and it's been this way for like a month now, so it's been a little bit difficult. But even before then, like when it's cold, I like to grill, but I don't like to like. What
do you like to eat?
Do it a lot. I eat the most American foods ever.
Like what?
Burgers, dogs, steak, like the menu at Texas Roadhouse, like all that stuff. Like I just.
Are you a picky eater at all?
No.
Not at all?
No. I feel like I also don't look like a picky eater. You know?
Incredible. All right, so now before I have the pasta doughs made. This is the one I just made, but then, the magic of TV. We've got one already ready to go. Before we roll that out, we're going to make a filling. And the shape I'm making today, have you ever heard of Cappelletti?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I have.
This is great. He's a pasta pro.
Well, I watch his TikTok.
Big fan of the channel right here. This is great. We love to see it.
My most inappropriate comments go to your page.
I mean,
they're not like inappropriate, but they're
my only comments on Cody's page are it's either one of two things. Either one, I still believe that this man gives the best high fives because he does, or 2, I think I just Tide laundry pods because they need to sponsor him because he's always covered in paint. Both are factual.
Tide.
Hit this guy up. Okay, so the filling that we're going to do, so Cappelletti, for anyone that doesn't know, is basically it's like a form of ravioli. So we have ricotta cheese, some lemon zest, a good bit, probably at least the full lemon.
If I like perch up like this just to see better, is that gonna...
Maybe we'll do a little bit more lemon. You like lemon?
Zest it up, dude.
All right, zest it up, he said. And then we're going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Nobody doesn't like that. What's your favorite shape of pasta, Cody?
My favorite shape of pasta? I like the long nudes that you do. You've actually created my favorite shape, which is just when you let it go.
When I just let it go. A little bit of olive oil. And then a little bit of truffle salt. Shout out to Truff. A little bit of that. And then we'll hit it with some black pepper. And then that should be it.
I'm a huge fan of ricotta cheese. I like if I have the choice to add it to pizza.
Yeah,
I always do.
I love it on pizza.
Yeah,
I feel like it's so underrated on pizza.
I agree. I think I got there's a place in the Strip District that puts ricotta in their pancakes. I'm a huge fan of that. Have you ever been to Cafe Raymond?
I did. I have been there. I used to go there a lot. I don't think I've ever had their pancakes though.
They're really good.
I used to really love Cafe Raymond. I just haven't been there in a while.
I think it keeps everything like light and fluffy.
I mean, it makes sense. Filling is ready. Now we are going to roll out the pasta dough, and then I'm going to show you how to do it, and then we're going to bust out a couple of these together.
Nice.
Unlike in episode 1 when we made gnocchi, where I had some ready to go in case they didn't come out, we don't have any ready to go. So if you want to eat, we have to get to work, to be honest.
Let's get to work.
So we'll get this cut. We'll put this one aside for now. And let me get this guy rolled out. Have you ever made fresh pasta?
No.
Really?
No, never.
I feel like you should.
I would love to. I wish that I was more in charge of what I cook.
Yeah.
I could be. There's nothing stopping me.
Right.
Other than maybe time.
So we're gonna get this rolled pretty thin because I'm gonna laminate some thyme leaves in between. I'm trying to be as artsy as I can here, okay? I'm really trying to... Listen, we've got an artist on the show. I can't just sling down some red sauce and chicken parm, okay? It's not gonna cut it. Who's your favorite person that you've ever done a painting of? Or do you not have a favorite?
Oh, man,
Because you've done everybody. Not everybody, but you've done some heavy hitters.
So, I think my number one answer has to be Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Just growing up watching Sid, I actually remember when he was first drafted. I did a drawing of him on some notebook paper.
Wow.
At a hotel in New York City on a work trip with my dad. So
Yeah.
this was probably, I don't know when the NHL draft is, but maybe late 2004,
Yep.
2005. And I just remember that, because he's everyone's hero when you growing up.
Yep.
And to not only do a painting for him, but to do I think he has 5 or 6 of my pieces at his house.
Wow, that's crazy. It's really unreal.
And he's I mean, he really is a great guy. I can't believe how lucky Pittsburgh's been to have Sid.
I don't think Pittsburgh realizes how lucky we are to have him.
I don't know if you could put it's probably just exponential.
Yeah, right. I would agree. So he's your favorite that you've done?
I like it because he feels like he's just a very friendly guy. He's
right.
He's a good guy and has always been so nice to me.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
That to me will always win you points.
Yeah.
But I think I did a painting live for George Strait.
Wow.
Which was
Where was that at?
That was in Boerne, Texas, which is just outside of San Antonio, which I believe is where he lives now.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, at this wonderful country club called Tapitago Springs or something like that. That doesn't sound right coming off
I believe you.
off the top.
Whatever you're going to say, I'm going to believe it. So I'm curious, do the nerves go away? Like, do you still get nervous? Because I would be terrified.
I get nervous when strictly if I don't feel confident about the painting. There isn't really a venue or an event or a gig that I've ever felt like nervous
Really?
for.
Yeah.
So like there are some gigs where they're like, you have 4 minutes. And that's a tough amount of time to do a painting in.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I did Formula One back in 2022.
I remember seeing that, yeah.
And I had 4 minutes and 30 seconds to do a painting of like one of the vehicles, and then like the word, like just the Miami word mark, and it was during the Formula One like opening party. So this wasn't like a side thing. I was like going after they announced all the drivers.
So like on the main stage.
On the main stage and in between Kygo and Joe Jonas.
That's crazy.
And I had 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And so like the hype of it plus the timing.
Yeah.
I did get a little nervous. In 4 minutes and 30 seconds, you don't realize how much you can sweat.
Yeah.
But we figured out a way to just be the sweatiest, most disgusting mess.
Yeah. When did you decide that was going to be the lane of artists that you were going to be? You know what I mean?
I think I just like performing.
Yeah.
There was this adrenaline that this game time type of feel that you had when you played college football.
Yeah.
Like leading up to that. Like I still kind of feel that same exact way. Like when I'm getting ready to do
interesting.
Like a big event or whatever. It keeps me like competitive with myself, and like I just like it more than, I like moving around. I like performing in front of people, and the fact that I get to like perform and paint at the same time is like,
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get any better for me.
Who would be like your dream person to not only paint, but paint in front of them, to have them there?
I think some of the bands that have influenced a lot of my music, like my music taste I've grown up, like I would love to paint, maybe if not with, but like open up for like the Killers or Coldplay or
that'd be crazy,
or something like that. And I've seen there's a speed painter, performance painter that has performed with Kiss and Bocelli, and we were talking about him in Vegas, like that David Garibaldi. Shout out David.
Shout out to David.
He kind of made it seem like that if that's possible, like anything's possible.
Right.
So I'm kind of keeping it open to like maybe one day we'll get the call. Maybe they're looking for something different in an opening act, and
which makes sense because I like we said earlier in the pod that I think what you do is so captivating to watch live. I think it just really, because it comes together so fast, and even sometimes too when we were in Vegas and I was watching you do it there, you didn't tell me I don't think who you were painting at first. So I'm trying to like that first minute or two, I'm like, all right, who is that? Is that Brock Purdy? I don't know who that is. And then once you realize it, it's like, wow, it's that like crazy moment where you realize it. And I think it really is something special, that there's just something about seeing it live that
thanks,
it's kind of unreal.
I am truly like, not only do I love it, like I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I'm like, as I'm sure like you are with this, like,
yep.
I think it's that combination of love and obsession, because like I also love video games.
Yeah.
But I'm not like obsessed with video games.
Sure.
Like it's I just think I'm incredibly lucky.
Yeah. Well, I think it's luck, but also the work that you put in to get to where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's make some pasta.
Let's go.
So I'm going to send some of these over to you.
Okay.
And we're going to figure it out together. I haven't made these in a couple weeks, so I'm not really sure how they're going to get, but they're very easy to make, thankfully. So we're first going to cut out some rounds. We'll just mist these a little bit. And then I will pipe a little bit of the filling onto each one. And then I will show you how to shape it. And then, when I texted Cody to see if he'd want to be a guest, I told him that, hey, and I'll feed you. I didn't tell him that he was going to have to make his own lunch, but here we are.
I don't mind putting in a little work.
Okay. So let me hand one over to you so you can kind of watch. So you're going to want to first take it over and kind of connect it to the top there. Yeah. And then I like to just kind of use my pinkies, but you can kind of do it however you want, just to basically seal it all around into a half moon.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure that it's sealed. A nice little half moon.
Okay.
Little Pittsburgh pierogi. And then I like to lift it up.
Okay.
And I'll just double check, make sure it's all sealed. And then I don't know how to, I've never described how to make this to somebody. I'll usually like put my middle finger here and then kind of wrap it around. And then seal that here. Okay. Then you just take your finger out and kind of push it down a little bit and you're good.
Okay, I think I did it upside down.
Okay, hey.
A bit
like I always
down.
tell everybody, a mistake in pasta making is still edible, so
yeah,
we'll count it.
Mistake in finger painting is not.
I don't really know what you did, to be honest.
We just formed a new shape of pasta.
No, you didn't. I don't know how you did that, though, because his kind of looks more like a tortellini, which you can only really make with a square, not a circle. Yet somehow he has like a pointed, or maybe that's the time. I don't know. I don't know what he did, but we're going to try it again. Okay. Give it a try.
We're going to figure this out.
I mean, we're going to do something. Whether we, like I said, if we don't figure it out.
Do you feel like the different shapes of pasta just create that, like, just a whole new type of taste or texture?
I think people that say that pasta shapes don't matter, I think, are lying to themselves because I think it's a very different eating experience.
Why would there be different shapes if it all tastes the same, you know?
Correct. I couldn't agree more.
Have you ever been to Italy?
Never.
Me either.
You want to go?
We should go.
Peace.
Let's just go.
We're out. Okay, so you got it there.
Yeah.
Now, I will say it would be a lot easier if we did less filling, but I think it's dumb to have a filled pasta with not a lot of filling because why are we doing filled pasta? Okay, so I'm trying to do this so
so backwards. Okay. Middle finger.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then kind of you want to just bring these sides around but kind of keep a crown.
Got it.
That's better.
There we go. Better.
It's better.
There's something. What is this here? What are we putting this in?
That's semolina flour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just like a coarser flour. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Like episode 5. You know who the worst pasta maker was?
No, what's gonna happen, guys, is Cody's gonna drive home from this and be like, when he asked me what I wanted, I should have said spaghetti and meatballs.
You know, I'm actually not like a big red sauce guy.
Really? I'm a big red sauce guy.
I think I just like
hang on.
Hang
on. Try it with this one.
All right. And you try to fix this one.
Oh boy, he's got filling busting out the seams.
Well,
here.
it's a lot of filling in that one.
There's a lot of filling in this one.
I got nervous too.
Okay, I'm gonna come around over here.
Come around.
Little audible. Sorry, camera guys. Okay, so what are you doing?
Turn it. Is that not it?
No.
Oh,
okay.
you're this.
I'm gonna show you. So middle finger here.
Middle finger here.
And then bring this around. This is better. You're bringing that side around the wrong way. Keep this side up.
Keep that side up?
Yeah.
And then, like, is it not like this?
Yeah, like that.
Oh, like this.
Oh, like this. Why didn't you do that the first time? Does that feel better?
Yeah.
Does it look better, though?
I think so. I think it looks better.
Okay, we're getting somewhere, I think. All right, we'll do a couple more of these. Let's bust them out.
Why am I sweating?
Because you're nervous.
Trying to impress not only you, but the audience here.
Oh, they're impressed already.
I'm going to make him come do my show, and you're going to have to finger paint a portrait.
Oh, no. That's just going to be a disaster. I'm like probably the least artistic person you know.
If you were going to do a portrait of somebody, who would you do?
It's a great question.
Or let's ask this. If you were going to plate a dish for somebody, is that how you say it?
Oh, sure.
Who would you want to, dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
That's a great question. I would say alive. I'm going to give you both, dead or alive.
Yeah.
Dead, I will say, like, personal, but my grandfather.
Okay. Yeah.
Alive, I would say Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I'm a big Tiger Woods fan. He's coming on the podcast, actually.
Dude, that's awesome.
He's not yet, but he's going to. Tiger, I'll see you soon. We're big into manifestation over here on the pod.
I love that personally.
Which one was the one you just did? This one?
Yeah.
We're looking money.
I already feel better about this.
I mean, it's looking a lot better. I think we're eating good today.
I want you to know that my hands are clean, despite the paint.
I want you to know that you're eating this.
The paint in the fingernails, it takes forever.
I'm sure it's permanent.
It's sort of my thing, I guess.
Do you ever pick up a paintbrush to paint?
Yeah.
How often?
I do like long form paintings
Okay.
that take hours and hours that I won't use my fingers for.
Yeah.
And those I use a brush. Just because with those, there's no time restraints, there's no performance. It's just straight up trying to be
Right.
as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
There like wasn't a lot of filling in that one.
That's
so
okay.
It's thin. It's a thin guy. What's one thing that you like obsessed about in your being a chef, like that you just tried to perfect making?
I think it's pasta.
Pasta, yeah.
Yeah, like when I started, and we talked about this in the last episode, I think. Maybe we didn't. I feel like I've talked about it to people before, but when I was still working in restaurants, when I got into pasta making, it was just making a batch of pasta at home for my wife and I. This was probably 7-8 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I had made pasta before in the restaurants, but I never really thought much of it. I was just like, oh, okay, like, I know how to do this.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, that night it turned out really good. So then I went 64 days in a row of making a pound of pasta every day. And I became, like, that's when I became obsessed. And that's when I was like, I'm going to be a pasta chef in, like, pasta restaurants.
Yeah.
Because there's just, I always thought of it when I was a chef in restaurants that, like, oh, pasta, like, whatever, it's a couple ingredients, like, it's not that complicated. But once I, like, really dove into it, I realized how complicated it really is.
There's an art to it.
There's an art to it, and there's just, it goes deeper than just a box of spaghetti, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Do we have enough here for a dish? I think so, right?
I think so.
It's a little different of a dish than last week's episode, guys. This is not a nice, big, piled high plate of chicken parm and gnocchi. This is going to be a nice, artfully plated. This is going to kind of take me maybe back to my fine dining days a little bit. We might get a little artsy. $150 a plate, why not?
If you had to, so
guys, what? Hang on, I'm sorry.
No, you're.
What is going on with the podcast guests coming on here and just leaving their station a damn mess? Because this is unacceptable.
You're the one that threw all this stuff on here.
It's your station, chef. No accountability here.
I just started watching The Bear, so I get the frustration of it.
Man.
Do you like that show?
The Bear?
Yeah.
So I haven't watched the new season yet. I'm sure I will. I think it's a really great representation, though, of the industry. We're gonna
I think it's for people who don't deal with stress in their day-to-day lives, because I can't watch that show. I get like I get stressed out throughout my days, like working and stuff, and like you know, you put yourself in high intensity spots, like you're performing and stuff.
Yep.
And then I'm supposed to go home and unwind with The Bear.
I mean, I remember when I watched the first season, I was like, man, this is PTSD.
It's a stressful show.
This is my life.
It's good. It's so good.
It's a great show. They do a really good job. I'm still trying to like figure out this dish as we're going through things. We're going to do you like mushrooms?
I do, yeah.
All right, that's good. That's one win for the day. We're going to saute off some oyster mushrooms.
I just don't know anything about mushrooms.
Well, you're going to learn today. You're going to learn that these are oyster mushrooms. And that's about all I can tell you about mushrooms. So we'll get the pan going here. What's next for you? Like, where do you see this going 3 to 5 years down the road? Like,
so I would like to really work on my my YouTube channel, because I like the idea that this audience that I built on social media just likes when I paint whatever I think is fun, whatever I want to do. And I kind of hope that seeing more of me on social media might give people the idea that they can also do this.
Right.
That they can also pursue being an artist, or just kind of whatever hobby that they think that they can make money on, you know?
Yep.
And I feel like when people watch you do this, they're thinking the same thing too.
100%. That's my hope, at least. It's definitely
not in the way of like, look at these guys, I could do this.
Well, no,
like
but I think
an inspirational way.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Because at the end of the day, neither of us are, you know, we don't come from these crazy backgrounds. You know what I mean? It's just, it's very, I think there's a lot of relatability.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that we both do something a little bit interesting at a high level that I think is not very, you know, it's not like we're doing something that, you know, you're training your whole life. You know, at the end of the day, like, I make pasta, you paint. Like, it's not, we're not doing...
It's a hobby that we're making money on.
100%.
You know?
100%.
I'm the first generation of my family since they've come from Europe.
Yeah.
Back in the 1910s to not work in a steel mill.
Wow.
You know?
Yep.
So it's like, I think we do live in a time where you can turn your hobby into a job at this time more than any other in history.
I think it's so, you're right. It's very, I don't want to say easy, but
doable.
Absolutely.
You know?
I think it's just a matter of finding what that thing is for every person, because I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
Which I get.
It's also, you just have to find where you fit in, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If 20 people are doing the thing that you love to do, maybe that's not, but how can you innovate that to be, to find your own space?
Yep.
In that, in the clutter.
No, I agree. You have any cool paintings coming up that you can talk about at least? Or like, who do you want to paint next just for fun? Because I've been seeing you've been doing a lot lately of just, you've been painting a lot of, like the one you did the other day or week, Bronny and LeBron.
Yeah.
It was very like in the moment, like they're very hot right now with Bronny and everything.
Yeah.
So who else do you have that you want to do upcoming just for fun?
I think with the Olympics starting, doing like Simone Biles would be great.
Yeah.
My wife loves gymnastics, was doing it all her life. So doing something like that, whether it's Simone or Suni Lee or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I would just like to do some collabs with some brands that I really love.
Yeah.
I've been getting into like sports cards again. It's because like my wife tells me I need a hobby. So
don't we all?
It's just like you can't just paint every single day. You're gonna get burned out.
Right.
Well, now I'm putting thousands of dollars into baseball cards.
Yep.
I don't think that's what she intended.
Yeah.
But I think doing something with like tops would be a really cool
insane.
thing.
Yeah.
I think coming up quite soon is we're doing an Alaskan cruise. And like I'll perform for an hour
Amazing.
on the cruise.
Yeah.
I'm pumped about that because
that'll be crazy.
The scenes, like where we're sailing or whatever.
Unreal.
Like,
yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
I've had some friends go on like those Alaskan cruises, and yeah, they wake up and they're just like in a glacier.
I know.
It's like, what?
I know. And it's supposed to be like 60 or 70 degrees.
It's unreal.
It's not going to be uncomfortable or anything.
Unreal. All right, I'm going to toss these in the oven. So these were just kind of crisped up a little bit of truffle salt, pepper. I'm going to pop them in a very like low temperature oven just to kind of keep warm while we get everything else rolling. Mushrooms are done. I'm curious if you'll like them. I don't know if you will.
Oh, what is this?
So this is a beet puree. A lot of people are like iffy on beets. You can be totally honest when you taste the dish. But I think it should go together pretty nicely.
One of my buddy's dads found, well, he does a diet fad like every couple months.
Yeah.
And beets was like one of his.
Yeah.
So I just like started trying all things beets.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I like it.
I love beets a lot. I used to hate them, but then, I don't know, I just kind of eventually came around. So you
can't beat that color either.
It's unreal. So this was just red beets, cooked down and then pureed. And then these were the golden beets. Same thing, but then I also added some fresh turmeric too, just to kind of really bump the color up a little bit. And I like the flavor of it. So we're gonna get both of these warm. So I'm telling you, I'm gonna paint you a picture on a plate.
This is colorful, man. This is as good as it gets.
I'm trying. Have you been to any Pirates games this year yet?
I've been to one.
Yeah.
With my son and daughter, and they just play in that playground.
Oh my son loves it.
It's so great. It's
amazing.
I love what they did to PNC Park. They put those really big like bars in the outfield.
Yep.
And then they have the big pirate ship for kids, and then
Yep.
you keep going, and there's just more and more for kids. I think they did such a good job with fan interaction.
I agree, because like I know like our kids, they can't just sit in the seats.
Absolutely not.
Like if we get through one inning, we're very, very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, especially on these hot summer days, like they don't want to be.
I know.
They don't want to do it. And then I know, at least for my son, like if we're walking around, once he sees that playground, he's like, he just books it right there.
Yeah.
He doesn't want anything to do with us anymore.
No. Okay. And what's nice is like a lot of my friends have kids now too.
Yeah.
So there's like almost no pressure to go see the game.
Right.
You know, we're just going to take our kids to play.
Yep. No, that makes sense. All right, we're gonna get a little spicy up in here.
Oh, jeez. Should I take my jacket off?
Hopefully, we don't cause too much of a mess. But we're going to crisp up some prosciutto to kind of add some texture to this dish. I will say that was fun for me because I was going to ask you like, what's your favorite pasta dish to eat or something like that, but I was like,
I would have thrown it back to you anyways.
Good.
I would have been like, you.
And this was fun for me because I really had to like sit down and think of like really conceptualizing a dish, and I kind of miss doing that because now when I make videos and stuff now, it's usually things that like I'll make a chicken parm video or spaghetti and meatballs of things that people are going to recreate at home versus this, like nobody's probably going to make this, but I kind of miss from my time in restaurants of thinking about a dish from like every flavor perspective, from texture, from color, from everything. So I don't know, this is going to be, and there's a very good chance that this dish is going to suck because that happens. And we're going to find out very fast.
I would say probably 20% of the paintings that I do in the studio end up seen by anybody else.
Really?
Yeah, my failure rate's pretty significant.
No, I don't believe it, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I have a pretty high standard for myself, because if I don't have that standard, like who else is gonna have it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm supposed to be the one that's setting. I'm the artist. I'm the professional. I'm supposed to be the one that's like setting that standard. So yeah. I mean, I don't think you get good at any craft unless you're a bit harsh on yourself.
You're right, because I mean that is a part of, like, having that form of failure is part of.
Yeah.
Like, then you know how to grow from that. Have you ever had truffles?
I think so.
Like, smell this.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, I love that. It smells garlicky.
So truffles they're kind of like, I believe I want to say they're in the mushroom family.
Yeah.
They grow by, I believe it's acorn trees.
Okay.
They grow underneath the ground, and it used to be that, like, humans can't, they grow naturally. Like, you can't farm them, basically. And it used to be that it was pigs, that farmers would use pigs to find them, and they would sniff them, and then the pigs would alert, and the farmer would go in and dig for them. But then eventually the pigs started eating them, so now they use they train dogs for it.
Yeah.
But they're very, very expensive. So these are
right?
added into truffle salt here. But they're very expensive. The white ones, so there's black truffles and there's white truffles. The white truffles are even more expensive just because the season for them is much less, and they're much, much more rare.
Yeah.
But they're
I had
so
truffles
good.
kind of recently, I think, actually, and I was just down in Miami.
Okay. Yeah.
And at some really high-end place that I was performing at, and they brought these things out, and I mean, you could just taste how expensive they were.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're very, like, you either love them or you hate them, I think. Like, a lot of people not a lot of people don't like them, but there's a good amount of people that don't like them.
I think it's an unusual texture, no?
It's just, they're very pungent. The aroma is very strong. The taste is very strong. But I think a lot of people can learn to like them. If they're, like, I don't think you can overpower things with them, because then that's just all you taste. And that's not very tasty anymore. Okay, so we have the purees ready to go. The mushrooms are ready. The prosciutto is almost ready. Do you like prosciutto?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, of course. How much thought goes into how you're going to plate this thing?
I've been thinking about it for the past 2 nights, guys. I've been sketching out things at home on my notebook. Because I think, obviously, it's a representation of me, you know?
Yeah.
And so I want it to be something, like, even when we did the chicken parm and gnocchi in the last episode, like, I was trying to plate it as nice as I could. At the end of the day, it's a red sauce dish. Like, there's only so much you can do with it, but I think taking thought into that is important, and I think that's what separates some chefs from others, is just kind of the thought that goes into the details of everything.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't, and that's fine. I think there's a place for both. I just think that I really value those small things. So we're gonna get this bumping. Wow, did you see that?
Dude.
I'm like, I need to call the fire station.
This is dangerous a little bit.
No, I'm a professional. We're just 2 professional idiots over here, just cooking who knows what. Okay, this is almost done. Let me check keep an eye on that over there, because
I will. I'll let you know if anything.
I'm gonna check
up.
the pastas. Oh yeah, they're looking good. Did you seal your cappellettis pretty good? Because if not, they're gonna explode in here.
Listen, I did what I was coached to do.
Well, I coached you to seal them.
I feel pretty confident.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, we're gonna find out in just a few minutes here how well you did.
Now I'm nervous.
Should be nervous. Okay.
I feel like the dish like hinges on how well I did.
It definitely, there's a big, I mean, we don't have much room for error. We didn't make that many of them. So, like I said, there's a very good chance we don't eat today. We might just be eating spoonfuls of beet puree, which might not be well, you say that now until you get like 4 spoonfuls.
You know, I don't have pasta all that often, so I'm like pumped. Like I've fasted for pasta. So
really?
I'm pretty pumped.
So you're ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So this prosciutto, this will crisp up. This is one of those things that'll get crispier as it sits. Hopefully.
Okay, be honest. How do you feel being a professional pasta chef about Olive Garden?
Okay, so
we might have to cut this.
No. So we did a video a couple months back of, I think it was comparing my lasagna to Olive Garden's.
Yeah.
Like side by side. Like I made mine, then we went and bought theirs. It wasn't great, but I mean, I grew up like Olive Garden was a special treat. Like Olive Garden, Red Lobster. Like that was like,
Fridays,
man, that was, man, we're living right now.
Yeah.
And that tour of Italy, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to say something. Hopefully nobody finds it. But this was probably 10 years ago. I was like a young cook in restaurants. And I saw on Twitter that Olive Garden they had just done this new thing that they were selling these, sorry, that was loud. They were selling these all-you-can-eat pasta passes that like you buy it and you get unlimited pasta for a year. I wasn't into pasta back then, but I was a young broke cook that I was like, yo.
I wouldn't know what to do with all that power.
So they only sold, I think, like 100 of them. But then they announced on Twitter that they were going to give away like 10 of them. And there was going to be a different contest every day. And for one of the days, they said the best poem to Olive Garden wins a pasta pass. So I tweeted to them, just wait, this gets better. And I said, what if I write a rap and I perform it? And so I recorded me rapping a full song about Olive Garden. And I won the pasta pass.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. And that's on Twitter right now.
No, it's gone. Unless somebody, like...
We will find it.
I have it somewhere. But hopefully it never sees the light of day again.
Wow.
But it did win me free pasta for a year that I think I probably only used twice, to be honest.
How much? What was the value of like if you were buying it? How much were they selling the passes for?
I don't know. I think probably quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was also too just like a marketing stunt type of thing that they were just trying to like get some attention.
Like IHOB.
Yeah.
Remember that?
No. What about IHOB?
When IHOB.
Oh yeah, they changed to like
burgers.
Yeah. I forgot.
It was just like a month long. People were really upset about that.
I mean, people love their IHOP.
Yeah.
And they don't love iBurger.
No.
Okay. So we're almost done. I'm going to mince up some chives here real quick. You like chives?
Yeah.
You a big chive guy?
I could do some chives.
He's a big chive guy.
In my free time.
What's your favorite color? Do you have a favorite color? You should have a favorite color.
I think it varies it varies throughout because like a couple months ago I was big into this light green color. It wasn't quite a pastel, it was more vibrant than that.
Does every artist say that their favorite color is green?
No.
Are you sure?
I've only spent about 2 months of my life with green as the front runner.
Okay.
The rest of the time I was like kind of like not big on green. I would say that I have this there's this color, it's like a tangerine orange that I really like. It's sometimes when I do backgrounds I'll use 2 colors. So I'll use like a pink and a yellow and when you blend it on the canvas it makes this this really sunsetty orange kind of
interesting
color, and I've always loved that to the point where I actually painted my kitchen at home in this color.
You loved it that much?
I loved it that much. But now
you're going to paint it green.
Now it's green.
It's incredible. Okay, let's get some salt in the water. Have you ever heard people say salt to your pasta water like the ocean?
No. Wait, if I had said yes, would you have told a story?
I'll still tell it.
Yes.
I like you. We're just going to edit this video. It's just going to be dubbed over your mouth saying no. Yes. No, but a lot of people and a lot of people tell people that they should salt their water to taste like the ocean. And a lot of people believe that. But I could not disagree more. And I've told people this before, that your pasta water should taste like a well-seasoned broth, not the ocean. Because when people say that it should taste like the ocean, I always counter that with, have you ever tasted salt water from the ocean? It's very, very salty.
They say you're not supposed to.
I've done it.
Well, yeah, I mean it on accident.
But it's really salty.
Yeah.
And I just think that translates very poorly to your dish. All right. These are looking great.
When will they explode? In the pot?
Hi.
If I didn't do it right?
So do you think they're going to explode? Now you make me think
I don't know. Well, what happens when they explode? Is it like...
Not explode, but they'll just fall apart. All the filling will come out. They won't.
I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be perfect.
You got me nervous now.
Now I feel like I need to wear safety goggles.
They're not going to explode
I know.
like
We've
that.
just been using that terminology.
All right, they're in now. There's no going back. So the nice thing about these is because it was fresh pasta and it's pretty thin. These are going to cook in maybe 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to add some flour in there just to get it nice and starchy. How are they looking? They haven't exploded. Oh, these are, Cody, these are great. Oh yeah.
That's what we go for.
Yeah, these are perfect. Okay, prosciutto's looking nice and crispy.
You're going to try some of this too, right?
Oh, of course. We're going to add some of the pasta water into the pan here. Oh yeah, we're good.
All right, let's say...
You had me more nervous. These are great. Go ahead, what were you going to say?
I'm just a naturally anxious guy. If you were able to cook for Tiger Woods and he said, make me anything, what would you make?
I would, I don't know. I've never even thought about that, to be honest. Would you
go with more confidence-based, or would you challenge yourself?
I'd want to do a really deep dive and learn about his relationship with food in terms of what he likes and what he's normally eating, and then try to put my own spin on it. I don't know. I just think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I would just love to have a conversation with him, which is why he'd be a great guest here on the podcast. Tiger, I know you're listening.
You're watching this.
He is watching,
we
to
know
be
that.
honest. He's been on his burner account on Instagram. He's been viewing my stories and stuff. It's been great to see. We're big fans of Tiger. It's good. Okay, we're going to add, I think, some lemon into this. You said you're good with lemon, right?
Yeah.
You good with lemon seeds?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll eat whatever, dude.
You say that.
Did you catch that wrist on that camera?
Strong wrist over
Go
here.
tight in on the wrist.
Real strong wrist. All right, we're gonna pop these guys out. They're looking beautiful. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, babe. Okay, now we're gonna let this kind of come down a little bit. We're gonna add some butter in there. I use a lot of butter. Like a lot. We might use a whole stick.
I'm good with the butter. I'm not scared.
Well, it's too late if you are scared. Okay, we'll let this kind of come down, make a sauce.
Cut.
Sorry about that. All right, we're gonna add some pepper in here. I just realized, Cody, too, I don't think I ever tasted the filling. So I have no idea what these are going to taste like. I think I don't know what we were talking about at that point, but I just put it right in the bag and never tasted it. So this is going to be a curveball.
And you've never made this before, right?
I've never made this before.
I'm what they call the experiment guest.
Oh, we're experimenting.
I like that.
We are experimenting for sure. All right, we're going to let this kind of reduce down till it's... All right, Cody, it is... the time has come to finally taste this and see what we're going to do.
I'm as interested as I am to taste it. I can't wait to see the plating.
You and me both. Again, I haven't practiced this either, so I really... Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to... I mean, do you think when you're painting... He probably thinks a lot because he's much better than I am.
No, I don't know, actually.
Okay.
You know how I start every video, right? With just a little on the canvas? You gotta do that.
I will burn the crap out of my hands.
That's true.
This is
Don't
ripping hot.
Yeah, why would
your paint isn't hot?
I can see how hot it is. Well, with what the studio is right now. It might be.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Rookie mistake. We're going to clean that up. Don't worry. I'm falling under the pressure. Okay. So we got that puree on there. This puree, let's go... Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let me just bring this back up to temperature real quick. We're gonna add a little bit more pasta water. Yeah, I think these came out good. We probably could have went a little bit thinner on the actual pasta sheets, but that's on me. That's not on you. But hey, it's okay. Oh yeah, baby. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell which ones you folded and which ones I folded?
I can, but there's also some that you did good. But like this one here, you did, and it's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's not great. But it's your first time doing it, right? So
yeah,
it is what it is. Okay. Then we're gonna go a little bit of these mushrooms.
This looks so clean, so nice.
Okay. Then we're gonna do a little bit of chives. And then we're gonna do some of the prosciutto.
I'm just mesmerized.
What do we think?
I'm actually nervous because I'm so into watching you plate this.
You think it needs anything? I think we're good.
I think we're good. I just feel like we're gonna watch this back. I'm gonna be standing here with my mouth open.
That's fine. All right. Here we go. That is a plate inspired by your artistic ability. And yeah, so give it a try. Let me grab you a fork and let's taste test this and see how we did.
This is amazing.
All right, let's give it a try. Be totally honest with me too.
And what's the best way to eat this? So like get a full one with like
I don't
something
know.
Of everything?
You might want to cut, it's a big bite of just one, so you might want to cut it in half.
Okay.
But I don't know. In theory, in my mind, all of these flavors should work together.
I'm gonna
But please be honest with me.
I'm gonna watch myself eat something on camera for the first time. You ever wonder how you do something?
Yeah.
Is it normal? Like, what if I'm a weird eat? All right, I'll just eat it. Sorry. This is good.
So I'll be honest first. I'm gonna give my thoughts.
This is good.
I think it's very good.
Yeah.
And I don't usually say that my food is very good. Like, I'm very critical of my food. But I think it's very good.
This is very good. Oh my gosh.
Is there anything that you don't like about it? And again, be honest. Like, is there too much of something? You don't like one of the elements of it?
Dude, this is... So, I have an uneducated view of food. So I'll try to explain how I feel in the best way possible.
Yeah.
I think that the beet, there's like that is substantially different from the other things on the plate.
Yeah.
So like, it gives it like just that kick at the end.
Yep.
And everything else is great.
Good. I'm glad. Well, you enjoy the rest of that. Thank you again for coming on the episode today. I really do appreciate it. That's 2 episodes in now, guys. We're on a hot streak. Episode 3 is coming soon. I got a great guest planned for that one. So make sure you hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and we're gonna go enjoy the rest of this dish.